This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday, September 3rd edition of Prim and Proper Sports. I'm your host, Sonia Pearson. I hope everybody is having a great day. It is officially, how do you say this? Kickoff Eve? You know how you guys say Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve? I'm officially deeming tonight Kickoff Eve as we get ready for tomorrow night's big matchup, Cowboys and Eagles. The much weighted debut is upon us, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have to catch a little bit of the game after it has started to progress because I have classes at night now, and so I'm going to miss the kickoff, but not too far. They should be around halftime by the time I am released from class. So I'm looking forward to watching that matchup, especially with the Cowboys consistently staying relevant during the majority of the offseason because of the entire Micah Parsons situation. So those two will see each other again. And there's a little bit of discussion that continues on with that. Jerry Jones thinking there was a contract, expecting Micah to get paid around $40 million. Well, guess what? Green Bay is like, we can pay him that every season. So congratulations to him, and look forward to a little bit of contentious, envious playoff positioning, as well as a nice game when those two meet up later on. Now, if you're like me, I'm involved in a fantasy league every season. I'm very grateful to my brother-in-law. They have that league sewed up. Took me years of asking to finally get in there, but this is my second season, actually maybe third season, playing with them. So super excited about that. So let's talk about the fantasy players a little bit. Now, I was super lucky. Now, if you guys know about fantasy, whatnot, they had a snake draft. So, it kind of just, you alternate. You may start off as the first pick in the first round, and then the next round, you may go somewhere else. You're not going to go first back to back. So the positioning changes, but I was lucky to snatch up Josh Allen, the top quarterback pick. And you have to time that thing just right. Somebody told me a long time ago, you don't pick your quarterback off the rip, and I did not. But Josh is the continued top fantasy quarterback. He's consistent with passing and rushing. I always call Josh Allen the vanilla Cam Newton. Cam Newton in his heyday with the Panthers was literally akin, the physique, the moves, what have you. Josh Allen all day long. Good to see Josh still in the league, still getting it done. Touchdown totals, all of that. He's a reliable start. So if you're like me and you grab Josh Allen, kudos to you. Get ready to rack up the points because he is coming in ranked number one quarterback for not just the first season. Followed behind him, no surprise here, is Jalen Hurts, the captain and quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, a Super Bowl champion. He's a dual threat quarterback as well. He provides a high floor and ceiling. So get ready to see Jalen once again, I should say, put the hurt on everybody out there. Now, another quarterback, I didn't pick this quarterback because he's got some injury stuff going on right now. They say they think it's not going to affect him starting, but it's none other than Lamar Jackson. So these are your big three: Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson, all J's. Josh, Jalen Jackson, okay? Baltimore Ravens, of course, another elite rushing quarterback. He's always known to use his feet. So we'll talk about his injury in just a little bit, but I didn't pick him, but he's still solid. He's still Lamar Jackson, and so he's predicted to be one of your top performers for fantasy as well. Let's talk about the running back. Now, the running back, most leagues allow you to have about 6 on your roster. And I think I was able to nab 4 solid running backs. So first and foremost, I grabbed this guy, Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons. Of course, Bijan came in out the gate running, literally, no pun intended, like he had been in the league. This was not his first time. And I am impressed with that young man, with the things he does on the field and off the field. He's considered overall top running back heading into the season. I'm looking forward to seeing the good things that he and Michael Penix will be able to do together in Penix's first official start from day one for the Atlanta Falcons. Jahmyr Gibbs, the Detroit Lions, not far behind at all in that discussion. Dynamic pass catching and rushing threat in a high-powered offense. You guys know how the Lions do. They roar all day, every day. And Jahmyr is back for it all. And he is the number 2 ranked running back for fantasy this year. Now, I know y'all may have been like, what, girl? How you go with Jahmyr over Saquon? I didn't. It's so close that this is just the order that I'm going in. So don't get your undies in a bind, as the older people say. Just roll with me on this one. Saquon Barkley, also captain of the Philadelphia Eagles. What a way to flourish once he moved on from the Giants. Sorry, Giants fans. But he's now with the Eagles, of course, for the second season, and he is expected to be a major part of their offense and a top fantasy performer. I mean, they just paid him handsomely. This guy came in, went all the way to the Super Bowl with this team, big difference maker, got the ring, and he was rewarded for it. So expect him to continue on this season, just doing the things that Saquon does. Christian McCaffrey, welcome back to the NFL. Christian, who missed the majority of last season, former Carolina Panther. I'm always going to have a spot in my heart for Christian. Got married, now has a baby on the way, all that stuff. Despite a tough matchup football-wise, he is now back, and he's a weekly must-start due to his volume and versatility. You guys remember how Christian got it done. He was a threat. He was a lethal force. Those legs kept on churning. Look for Christian to come back and not miss a beat. Welcome back, Christian, San Francisco 49ers. Devon Achane for Cincinnati. Achane all day, every day. We're going to go into the wide receivers in a moment, but Achane, Miami. I misspoke there. Sorry about that, guys. Home run threat who should get plenty of opportunities in week 1 and going forward. We're looking forward to seeing what he does down there in Miami. Excited to see him and make moves, as they say. So with that, we'll move on to the wide receivers room. We're talking about Jamar Chase, Cincinnati. That's where I got a little mixed up there before. I was moving on to the next category. Jamar Chase, one of my favorites. Now, the Bengals put so much money into their offense. The Bengals should have 0 issues on their offense, period. He's top ranked wide receiver, of course, and he's a game changer. High volume role. We're going to see what it looks like for them. A lot of people have complained about their lack of investment in their defense and what have you. But we're going to look at that and see what that looks like for Cincinnati. But Jamar Chase, of course, continuing to lead the helm of the wide receiver room. Don't silence this guy at all. C.D. Lamb. Okay, Lamb chops, whatever you say. C.D. Lamb, you see him? Consistent target for Dak Prescott and a weekly top 5 receiver. CeeDee Lamb is not silencing the Lambs. They are loud and proud. And that's going to be interesting to see this year, especially after the Micah trade. They're going to be really dependent on CD more than ever. So I'm going to be looking to see how Cowboys fans are reacting to this. I had a discussion earlier with one of my favorite Cowboy fans, our first lady at church. She and our minister, who I call my godparents, they are devout Cowboys fans, and at least they are real. Like most Cowboy fans at this point, you're not really hearing them going around saying this is our year anymore. They're more like expressing the disgust at how Jerry Jones has refused to turn over the helms to the rings, the helms, what have you, to someone who can really be a difference maker. I told her this, and this is what I'm going to stand by. With Dak Prescott coming back from being out last year, you release Mike McCarthy. And on top of that, you don't even really go for a coach that is out there available. They could have gotten Ben Johnson. They could have gotten Glenn. So many coaches out there that were available, and they just promote from within. And you're promoting from within for what? So Schottenheimer is their new head coach, kind of just a promotion, literally. Who knows? Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but that just lets me know they did not have a plan in place for post Mike McCarthy. I don't know, but with Micah being gone, new head coach, several other moving pieces, and Dak just now coming back, it's gonna be very interesting to see what this looks like. But yeah. All right, moving on. We got Mr. Gritty himself. I was able to grab this guy, Minnesota Vikings own Justin Jefferson, who is now reconnected, sadly, with Adam Thielen, former Carolina Panther, just for a couple of seasons. Thielen, of course, the 9-year vet of the Minnesota Vikings, decided he wanted to go home. He actually has home connections there outside of football. And so he and his family have reunited with the Vikings. And, Adam just turned 35, and he may be, about to hang up the cleats. And he just wanted to make sure he was in a position where he could retire where he started it all. So happy birthday to him, as well as best wishes to him. I'm going to always like Thielen. I like Thielen when he was with the Vikings. I, of course, loved him with the Panthers. And I'm wishing him well. But yeah, Mr. Gritty, who we're talking about, regardless of who the quarterback is, they're starting with J.J. McCarthy, of course, the official debut of this rookie quarterback. Justin Jefferson, his talent is a must start. He's an accent for any offense out there. So kudos to him, and get ready to see lots of Gritty in the end zone this season. Back to Detroit, Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, a PPR machine who will see a ton of targets. Amon-Ra St. Brown is just a very cool, humble, level-headed guy, and his mindset matches his play on the field. So kudos to him. And someone that everyone barely talks about sometimes, and they kind of overlook this guy, but don't miss out. He is a solid threat. Puka Nacua, LA, baby. Okay. Coming off of a breakout rookie season, he is established as wide receiver 1 for LA. So congratulations to him, showing and proving. The tight ends, Brock Bowers, okay, Mr. UGA himself, looking amazing. He's in Vegas, of course. Pete Carroll starting his first season. Welcome back to the NFL, Pete. That locker room is going to be smelling amazing. Pete always chewing the gum. I know his breath got the whole area smelling amazing. I mean, he is on it. I wonder if Pete has ever bitten his tongue chewing gum, because I remember when I was in high school, I had braces, right? But before I got braces, I was a big bubble gum chewer. And the kind of gum they used to have was super sticky. You couldn't even chew it long. The flavor didn't last long. I used to get it from the drugstore for free. The first thing the orthodontist told my grandmothers was like, listen, she cannot have any gum. Gum days are done with these braces. But you know me. Everybody that knows me know me. And you probably would have been saying, you kind of sneak and try to get at least some gum. But that specific gum didn't have any flavor or whatever. But I remember, after so many times, it didn't have a real thing. It was just like a little pink bubble gum. I would get it at the drugstore when I would go out to my local drugstore in Red Springs. Shout out Red Springs, North Carolina. And it would just go away. But needless to say, over the years, I think they changed the recipe or something. The flavor just didn't last as long as it did. But shout out to Dusty Rhodes. He and Miss Pat Parker, pharmacy and pharmacy tech, used to always have a big bucket up there, and my grandmother would go. And once we picked up our prescriptions, he'd be like, "You girls want some gum? Want some bubble gum?" We'd get in and get us a couple of pieces or what have you. Those were the days. I still remember when we had a lot of prescriptions and stuff, and my grandmother may not have been able to pay for it all right there, or my dad. They literally would just write it down on a notebook like it was a ledger that they kept. It was like the honor system. Like, those were the days. We are so far removed from that right now. But shout out to them. They're still with us, and I'm so blessed to know them. So if you guys ever see this show, love you guys, and thanks so much for everything you've done. I had to go off there for a second. But anyway, Pete had to have bitten his tongue, because as soon as those braces were off, I was so glad to chew regular gum. I was always biting my tongue, like painfully biting my tongue. So, all right. So we got that with him. Of course, Brock Bowers is going to have a record-breaking season again. I'm predicting it now. He had a rookie record-breaking season. Look for him to be considered the top end of tight ends for 2025. Like you heard it here first. George Kittle's, of course, San Francisco, getting it done. Mr. Kittle's proven fantasy producer again and again. And he has a strong floor. Now, folks like Travis Kelce, you notice his name is not mentioned this year. By the way, kudos to him. He got engaged a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, guys. This may be Travis's final season. He may be getting ready to focus on the home front, home life. Hopefully, he's put his money to the side the way he should. And I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. Nothing in the air, nothing that made me think that way solidly, but I'm just letting you guys know those are my thoughts in case, it comes to fruition. All right. Now for your week 1 starts, these are the quarterbacks that they're telling everyone to start. This is the thing that gets a little tricky. So I gave you your top picks of people you should have gotten in pretty much every situation. Now, the Steelers were ranked number 1 for their defense. Let me go ahead and plug that in, and I snatched them up, followed by the Denver Broncos. And so week 1, this is your start, sit advice, all right? Week 1 for quarterbacks, Kyler Murray for the Arizona Cardinals. He has a favorable matchup against New Orleans Saints defense with many questions. Now, his rushing ability provides a great start for him to rise. All right. So you want to start Kyler Murray if you got him on your fantasy. Trevor Lawrence, I don't even want to really talk about this game. My Panthers are playing Jacksonville. Okay. Let me just put it to you like that. Trevor Lawrence is going to be facing my Panthers, and our defense has just not looked the best with quarterbacks last season. So they're saying you're safe to go ahead and start Trevor. They're predicting him to run it up. I haven't seen any game predictions yet, so hush your mouth on that. We'll talk about that on Friday night with the fellas. Well, I'll be sitting down with some of my divisional rivals, as well as some folks from the North, okay? New York, that is, Detroit, that is, and what have you. Even maybe my Dallas fan friend may jump on there as well. But it's Friday night with the fellas. You never know who's going to pop on, but you do know for a fact who's always on with me is James J. Trey Martin from the New Orleans Saints, and my guy B. Strilla from the Detroit Lions. Those are my 2 solid people that are always on there with me. So shout out to you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And before I go further, shout out to you, Pink Fanfur. I hope you enjoyed the game on Sunday. Pink Fanfur is the promo lady you see behind the scenes that does all the promotions and decor for me. And shout out to B. Strilla as well. He does the production for this show. Those guys, that lady and gentleman, they are amazing to me. Like true friends, standing in the gap. I love it. I love it. I love it. And shout out to you, Nikki Tally Jag. Nikki had gifted me with a ticket to go to Jacksonville, but because of these studies, I cannot tear myself away. And thus, this is the reason why this is an abbreviated show on Wednesdays. And because I have to get it where I fit in. Okay. So for all of you all who are making comments, hello, good evening. I will see them on the back end. I have to pre-record these shows just an hour before so that I can make sure it's set at 9 because I don't get out of class till later. So anyway, Trevor is expected to run all over my Panthers. We'll talk about that Friday. Running backs that you want to start, Tony Pollard, Tennessee Titans. And let me tell you something. I actually got Tony on my roster too. I guess I was pretty lucky this year. With Tyjae Spears out, Pollard should see a heavy workload for those Titans. And let's be clear, Titans fans, I know y'all are tired of being on the bottom. So this is the year I'm going to be looking for you all to make big changes. And I'm going to go ahead and congratulate you guys in advance. I'm going to believe in you, okay? Chase Brown, Cincinnati, has a solid option as well with a good matchup against the Browns. Wow, Chase Brown for Cincinnati against the Browns. That's quite a tongue twister. All right, for Cincinnati, it's the running backs that you should start. And let's not forget Alvin Kamara, AK, okay? In the NO New Orleans, a strong PPR play against the Cardinals defense that can be exploited. Kamara is explosive no matter where you put him. That dude is a beast. So he may be the one person that I always feel like I don't want to see that dude coming. So kudos to him. Now your wide receivers to start. Xavier Worthy, Kansas City, with Rashee Rice suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. You guys, in case you don't know. Worthy is expected to be Chiefs' top target and has a favorable matchup against the Chargers. So you're going to want to really make sure that you're getting this guy where he needs to be and making, the starts. And then you got Travis Hunter. Everybody's talking about Travis. Everybody's going to be watching that Jacksonville game because Travis is the two-way player. He's talking about he want to be on both sides of the ball. I'm here for it. I want to see it. He's expected to be a full-time offensive player in this specific game. Let's talk about as a wide receiver. And he's a strong matchup, they're saying, against the Panthers. I don't believe that. Anybody that's talking about the Panthers right now in a negative space is blasphemy. We are on our way to the top. Super Bowl 60, here we come. All right? Here's your players that you may want to consider sitting. The fact that Dakota Rain Prescott is just returning from a significant injury, and his first opponent is a divisional rival, is mind-boggling. They said you might want to sit Dak. You might want to sit him on your fantasy, is what I'm speaking of. He is going to be shut down by the Eagles defense. Y'all know the Eagles don't play anyway. Think Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey. That defense is still just as good as it was when they were with them. The defense is amazing. All right. Dallas Goedert, all those guys. All right. Another person you want to sit on your fantasy, Aaron Rodgers. This is going to be his debut with the Steelers, and he's facing none other than his players, his former teammates from the Jets. This is the matchup all of you guys have been looking for. And he's 41 almost. He's coming up on 41. So just look for it, man. Look for it. Just look for it. And let's not forget how he was with his teammates. Unavailable. So here we go. Now, some rookie wide receivers that you guys have that are great starts, like, Worthy and Hunter, of course. Be cautious about some other ones. Be really careful about Marvin Harrison Jr. and some of those others that have historically not produced as well on week one, because anybody can do anything in the preseason, but now you got all the real players out on the field at the same time, and they're having to, step it up. Speaking of step it up, the New England Patriots took a gamble on acquiring wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who was recovering from that torn ACL, but he's expected to make his Patriots debut in week one, despite all the pink crystals and all that stuff you guys saw on the boat. We expected to see him. The Jets offensive line has just taken a hit just before the season opener. Unfortunately, right guard Elijah Vera Tucker has a serious injury that could sideline him for a significant portion of the season. We wish him well. The Buccaneers and offensive tackle Luke Goddard have agreed to a 4-year, $90 million contract extension. Congratulations to you, Luke. That's big money, and it's very good for the Buccaneers as well as they solidify his OT contract. Baltimore Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is likely, or should I say is unlikely, to play in the season opener against the Buffalo Bills as he is continuing to get better himself. Now, the NFL season officially begins with the defending Philadelphia Eagles champions, all that stuff on tomorrow. And there's some kickoff and rule changes, y'all. League has made permanent its new kickoff rule, which has they experimented with last season. You guys remember that? It's intended to lead to more returns and safer play. And other rules that they've implemented are changes to the regular season overtime, an expansion of replay assist. Y'all saw AI instead of the refs running out there, and the use of virtual measuring that I'm just talking about right now for the first down. So no more chains, no more moving the chains. I don't know what they're going to say, but this is a virtual measurement now to see if players got that. We saw a little bit of that in the preseason. And so that's interesting to see. I mean, AI is really taking over everything, literally. Like Common tried to tell us about 5 years ago. And I was like, what is he talking about? It just was so foreign to me. I just was like, this commercial makes zero sense. Well, now we see it and it's everywhere and it's here to stay. Of course, people are wondering, with this being a new season, are the Eagles now headed into being their own potential dynasty, as they say in Game of Thrones, dynasty? Chiefs not really talking about that much anymore. Very silent, very quiet. But you got to be careful. Sometimes still waters run deep with the quietness. Of course, they are saying now Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers, he's actually taking on a leadership role. So lesson learned, or maybe he's just happy to be there. He knew how it was not to possibly have a job. And let's be clear, Mike Tomlin is not the one to blank around and find out. So he wasn't dealing with that none of the way. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley being named the top player of the NFL's top 100 players of 2025 list. Congratulations to him. And this year, there's going to be a new gold patch unveiled for the 2025 season. It's going to be worn by the previous MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And this year's recipients include Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley. Before I hop off of here, let me let you guys know, for all you all who watch NFL Red Zone and you just watch the scores and what have you, it's always been commercial free, et cetera, and a cashmere sweater. Well, this year, for the first time, they are going to have commercials. And fans are outraged about that because they have never had commercials. It's just ongoing talk for 7 hours, uninterrupted, and scores. And now that has changed. So it's going to be interesting to see, you guys. Like I said, everything is changing. And I guess we just have to roll with it as fans. But good luck to your team. If you are an Eagle or Cowboy fan, enjoy tomorrow night's game. The rest of us will be watching as well. And I will see you guys live on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Friday Night with the Fellas. Stay tuned on this network for shows all day, every day. I got to start spreading the news. I got the Friday with the Fellas. I got the Sunday morning sports show. I got the unprofessional sports show and many more. You guys have a good night.